Okay, great. Welcome to the channel. We're going to take a look at all things NFTs, including what that acronym stands for. That means we'll have content that goes back to look at the technology, the terminology that relates to NFTs, non-fungible tokens. We'll come back to that term. We'll make sense of that for you. The purpose of this is to be creative. You'll see me drawing. You'll see me using the computer, putting those two things together. So we'll be using digital pens to create some digital art, making that digital art an NFT, non-fungible token. And we're going to use some specific websites that we think you'll love. You're looking at one right now, a Stacks network. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about what's inside and what's on top of the Stacks network and the different types of uses or applications that you can use with the Stacks network. Now, just quickly looking at the screen, let's just say a few things just so that you know what we're going to be getting into. Stacks is a network, and as you can see on the page here, they've also put the term Bitcoin there. So Stacks relates to the Bitcoin network. So we'll make sense of that for you as well. We're also going to get into some of these terminologies here. As you can see, it talks about stack enabling DeFi, NFTs, apps, and smart contracts for Bitcoin. So let's break down all those parts as well, and we'll get to see what's on the Stacks network. So I'm going to scroll down this Stacks page and just talk a little bit more around the kind of things we're going to cover, and then stay tuned for more videos. We'll put links below as the videos are created to the various parts of the Stacks network. So I'm just going to scroll down the website so I don't lose you. I'm just going to go slow. And as we go down, we're going to see that, like any web pages, they've got a bit of writing and content that they're posting for you. I'm not going to click on that. I'm going to keep going. I just want to quickly show you what's on this page. Stacks Network lets you create digital assets, work with blockchain technology, and that means that you can involve cryptocurrencies. And we'll talk about what cryptocurrencies are. In this case, the cryptocurrency is going to be Bitcoin, as well as a currency that exists on the Stacks network. So that's two cryptocurrencies we're going to be talking about. Okay, so let's keep scrolling. So we'll talk about some of the functionalities and what Stacks can do. So for example, here's three. We're going to be focusing on the NFTs for the most part, but it's also important that we show you some of the other applications that are built on the Stacks network, but we don't want to get too distracted by them. So this other proof of transfer and Bitcoin DeFi, we'll get into a little bit of that, but really we want to focus on some digital art and how you can create NFTs. Okay, let's keep moving. Now, you may or may not be a developer. That's someone who creates and builds on the kind of infrastructure that Stacks is. Uh, we'll come back to this and more advanced videos and content, probably in the future, not initially, will be of interest to developers. Okay, let's keep moving. Okay, so for those developers or anyone else for that matter, you can see the types of uses that people are getting up to using the Stats network. So very briefly, just looking at some of these boxes left to right here, and I'm not going to go through them all right now. We'll get into that later. A wallet. Let's talk about what a wallet is, and we'll have an episode of that. Not on this video, but we will talk about what a wallet is and how that helps and why that's so important when we're getting into blockchain technologies and all these different uses of blockchain. social media, NFTs. NFTs, especially, we'll get into how to make them and why you might enjoy making them as well. These are just some of the ways in which you can use the Stats Network. There's lots more. And if I clicked on See All Apps and Platforms just down the right hand side, there'll be a lot more for us to get into as well. But let's save that for another time. Let's get moving. Smart contracts. So being able to agree with somebody else what will happen when other certain events happen, and agreeing this in a contract form. We'll talk about that. It is relevant to NFTs, so we will get into smart contracts and what they mean as well. Let's keep moving. Okay, so we're coming down to the bottom of the website page here. There's just a little bit more to check out. So one of the beauties of the Stacks network is the community around it and how that's grown. So we do want to make sure that we're showing you the events that come up, the ways in which you can talk to other people, and get help and insight into how other people are using the Stats network as well. We'll talk about some of the ethos of the Stacks network, and we'll make sure that we have a good discussion around that. We may look at how we serve up information from different parts of the website, so we won't just rely on the Stacks website here. We'll be looking at other sources and other commentary as well, so that you can take a broader view of this network. And that is the web page for the Stacks network. Let's come back and break all this down with some other videos and content for you. See you soon. Stay tuned.